The interview opened with the usual cheerful energy, set against the bright backdrop of the View's studio. Kevin Bacon entered with his trademark charm, smiling and greeting the hosts warmly. At first, the conversation flowed easily, touching on his recent projects, film roles, and personal anecdotes. The audience responded with applause and laughter, signaling a positive start to what seemed like a routine morning talk show segment. As the discussion progressed, the hosts shifted toward more controversial topics. Kevin answered initial questions with humor and diplomacy, but subtle signs of tension began to emerge. His responses became more measured, occasionally pausing before answering. Observant viewers could notice his body language stiffen, signaling that the conversation was moving into uncomfortable territory for the acclaimed actor. The turning point occurred when Joy Behar asked a pointed question about the sensitive social issue tied to recent headlines. Kevin paused, seemingly weighing how to respond. The host's tone felt less curious and more confrontational, pressing him for a reaction. The energy in the studio shifted instantly, with a brief silence signaling that this segment had taken a dramatic turn from light-hearted discussion to tension-filled exchange. Kevin attempted to steer the conversation back to his work, emphasizing upcoming projects and career highlights. However, the questioning persisted, and the dialogue felt increasingly like a challenge rather than a casual discussion. His polite demeanor began to show signs of strain, revealing that the usual patience expected from guests was beginning to wear thin under persistent pressure. With each follow-up question, the intensity escalated. Kevin leaned slightly forward, his hands clasped in a controlled manner. He addressed the framing of the questions directly, explaining that certain topics required context and nuance that could not be condensed into a quick answer. The audience sensed the tension rising, recognizing that the segment had shifted dramatically from its earlier tone. Joy Behar, seemingly determined to press for clarity, asked increasingly direct questions. Kevin maintained his calm, but a noticeable edge entered his voice. His eyes briefly glanced toward off-camera crew members, possibly signaling discomfort or silently seeking guidance. The exchange became less about conversation and more about a clash of perspectives, unfolding live on national television. Kevin finally voiced his concerns, stating that he felt the questions were becoming personal and intrusive. His tone remained professional but firm, signaling his boundary. The studio audience grew quieter, sensing the escalating tension. It was evident that Kevin was asserting himself in a situation that had crossed his personal comfort threshold, and the stakes of the conversation became apparent. The hosts attempted to reframe their approach, suggesting lighter topics, but Kevin's patience was clearly tested. His posture stiffened, and his replies became more concise. While maintaining professionalism, he conveyed that he would not be manipulated into offering reactions he was uncomfortable with. The confrontation continued to unfold with an almost tangible intensity, making viewers at home lean in closer. Kevin emphasized the importance of discussing issues thoughtfully rather than reacting impulsively. He expressed frustration that complex matters were being simplified, reducing nuanced topics to sound bites. His words, calm yet pointed, highlighted a tension between media expectations for instant reactions and the actor's desire for measured responses. The host tried to steer the conversation back to career highlights, but Kevin's demeanor signaled a breaking point. He shook his head subtly, signaling that the topic was no longer acceptable. There was a clear message: he would not continue engaging in a discussion that felt disrespectful or overly confrontational. Kevin's decision-making moment came after a final, sharp question that challenged his earlier responses. He paused, taking a deep breath, weighing his options carefully. The audience sensed a pivotal moment unfolding. Kevin's measured silence conveyed both frustration and resolve, hinting that the next move would define the segment. Without raising his voice, Kevin calmly stated that he did not feel the interview was productive or respectful. His words were deliberate, carrying weight in their restraint. The studio fell into a brief but tense silence, as the hosts recognized the gravity of his statement. It was a quiet, commanding assertion of personal boundaries. Kevin rose from his chair, straightening his jacket and preparing to exit. His movement was deliberate and composed, reflecting a choice rooted in principle rather than impulsive emotion. The audience and crew watched, understanding that a live television segment was about to take an unprecedented turn. As Kevin walked toward the exit, the cameras captured the stunned reactions of the hosts. Smiles vanished, replaced by expressions of surprise and unease. The cheerful rhythm of the show disappeared, replaced by the immediate challenge of managing an unexpected moment on live television. Backstage, crew members reportedly exchanged concerned glances, aware they had just witnessed a rare event. Kevin's team followed closely, ensuring he could leave the studio without further interaction. The walk-off was not a display of anger but a controlled assertion of agency, signaling the actor's unwillingness to compromise his boundaries. Social media erupted almost instantly. Clips of Kevin walking off circulated widely, sparking debates and discussions across platforms. Fans praised him for standing up for himself, emphasizing the importance of respect in interviews. The incident quickly became a trending topic, dominating conversations in entertainment circles. Fans expressed admiration for Kevin's composure and courage. Many highlighted the rarity of such a public assertion of personal boundaries by a high-profile celebrity. Social media comments emphasized the relatability of the moment, drawing parallels between Kevin's choice and everyday situations where boundaries are tested. Media outlets picked up the story, offering various interpretations. Some criticized the show's handling of sensitive questions, while others framed the incident as a clash of personalities and expectations. Analysts debated whether the confrontation was avoidable or an inevitable result of persistent probing. Kevin's long-standing reputation for professionalism made the walk-off even more striking. Fans and commentators alike noted that such an action was unusual for an actor known for measured and thoughtful interviews. The incident underscored the seriousness of the circumstances and the deliberate nature of his decision. The show later released a statement expressing regret over the outcome and emphasizing respect for all guests. The response aimed to manage public perception while acknowledging the unusual nature of the incident. For viewers, it reinforced how live interviews can quickly become unpredictable. Industry observers highlighted the moment as an example of the delicate balance between media questioning and guest boundaries. Kevin's walk-off sparked broader conversations about ethics, consent, and respect in celebrity interviews, resonating far beyond the initial episode. Viewers who witnessed the exchange live commented on the palpable tension. Kevin's calm yet firm demeanor contrasted sharply with the increasingly assertive questioning. The interaction became a study in restraint, demonstrating that strength can be expressed without hostility or raised voices. In subsequent days, clips of the incident continued to circulate, analyzed in detail by fans and media analysts. Every gesture, pause, and tone of voice was scrutinized, offering insights into the subtle dynamics of live television confrontations. Kevin did not publicly revisit the incident, letting the moment speak for itself. By maintaining silence, he preserved the dignity of his decision and avoided unnecessary prolongation of the controversy. The absence of commentary only reinforced the clarity of his actions. Fans interpreted Kevin's walk-off as an important lesson in self-respect and professional integrity. His refusal to participate in a confrontational exchange resonated with audiences facing similar pressures in professional or personal settings. The incident also influenced other celebrities and guests who appeared on live shows. Many reflected on the importance of preparing for uncomfortable questions and the right to assert boundaries when necessary. Kevin's actions set a precedent for thoughtful disengagement rather than forced compliance. Media experts discussed the clip extensively, noting that the walk-off was a rare example of controlled, principled behavior under pressure. Kevin's ability to remain composed while asserting limits became a case study in professional communication and self-advocacy. The show itself had to adjust quickly to the unexpected exit. Hosts recalibrated the remainder of the segment, shifting focus to safer topics and maintaining viewer engagement. The incident underscored the unpredictable nature of live broadcasting. Over time, the initial shock of Kevin's walk-off evolved into recognition of the message it conveyed. Respect and dignity take precedence over fulfilling expectations for drama or spectacle. The actor's actions left a lasting impression on audiences and industry professionals alike. In the end, Kevin Bacon's walk-off on The View became a defining moment. It illustrated the importance of personal boundaries, the power of composed decision-making, and the ability to assert oneself in challenging situations. The moment remains a reference point for celebrity interviews and live television interactions. Following the walk-off, entertainment news shows and online platforms began dissecting the interview moment by moment. Commentators highlighted Kevin's composure and his refusal to be drawn into reactive responses, noting how unusual it is for a seasoned actor to exit a live show so decisively without dramatics or outbursts. Fans on social media praised Kevin for demonstrating a rare level of professional self-respect. Many highlighted that while walking off might seem extreme, it was a measured response to a situation that became increasingly uncomfortable. The incident sparked discussions about when it is appropriate to disengage from a conversation rather than participate unwillingly. The clip of Kevin leaving The View went viral, generating millions of views across multiple platforms. People analyzed every facial expression, hand gesture, and pause, debating whether the questioning by Joy Behar was fair or overly aggressive. The incident dominated trending lists and news feeds for days. Industry insiders remarked that Kevin's walk-off would likely influence future interviews. Producers and hosts might rethink how to approach sensitive topics, understanding that persistent pressure could lead to on-air exits. Kevin's actions became a cautionary example of the fine line between curiosity and intrusion. The story also resonated beyond celebrity circles. Viewers shared personal experiences of being pressured into uncomfortable conversations at work or social events. Connecting with Kevin's choice to protect his boundaries, the walk-off became symbolic of asserting agency in difficult situations. In later discussions, media experts noted that Kevin's calm demeanor was key to the impact of his walk-off. Unlike dramatic confrontations, his quiet firmness commanded attention without escalating conflict. This approach was cited as a model for managing stressful interactions in public and professional life. The show's producers reportedly reviewed the footage multiple times to understand how the conversation escalated. They acknowledged that while live television is unpredictable, maintaining respect and awareness of a guest's comfort is critical to prevent similar incidents. Kevin's team remained tight-lipped about the behind-the-scenes details, reinforcing the perception that his exit was deliberate and principled rather than impulsive. The lack of official commentary fueled speculation, keeping the incident in public conversation longer. Fans often revisited clips of Kevin's earlier interviews to compare his usual demeanor with the controlled assertiveness displayed during the walk-off. The contrast highlighted his professional discipline and careful management of personal boundaries. Analysts suggested that the incident also reflected broader cultural shifts in how audiences and celebrities navigate uncomfortable topics. Kevin's decision to leave underscored that transparency and dignity sometimes require disengagement rather than continued participation. Social media reaction included both support and debate. While many applauded Kevin, some viewers questioned whether walking off was appropriate. These discussions fueled broader conversations about civility, professionalism, and the responsibilities of both interviewers and guests. Over the following weeks, talk shows, podcasts, and entertainment news outlets referenced the moment as a defining example of maintaining personal agency under pressure. Kevin's calm yet decisive action was framed as a lesson in professionalism and self-respect. Kevin's subsequent public appearances reflected no visible tension from the incident. Fans noted that he continued engaging in media with warmth and professionalism, showing that the walk-off did not disrupt his career trajectory or public image. The event also inspired conversations among other celebrities about preparing for difficult interviews. Many artists referenced the importance of pre-setting boundaries and having the confidence to step away if necessary, citing Kevin's walk-off as a case study. In retrospect, the Kevin Bacon walk-off on The View became more than a fleeting controversy. It evolved into a cultural reference point for assertive yet composed handling of uncomfortable situations, demonstrating that dignity and self-respect can be maintained even under intense public scrutiny. In the months following the incident, media outlets revisited the clip to analyze how Kevin's body language conveyed calm determination. His steady gaze, measured tone, and deliberate movements were highlighted as hallmarks of a professional who knew precisely when to assert boundaries without creating unnecessary drama. Fans continued to discuss the moment online, often using it as an example of how to navigate uncomfortable conversations in their own lives. The walk-off became symbolic of personal empowerment, showing that even in high-pressure environments, one can prioritize dignity over obligation. Kevin's exit sparked debates on social media about interview etiquette and respect for guests. Many argued that persistent questioning can be counterproductive, while others emphasized that thoughtful engagement is key. The conversation highlighted a larger issue within the entertainment industry regarding balance between curiosity and intrusion. Some commentators compared the incident to other high-profile on-air exits, noting that Kevin's approach was unique due to its restraint. Unlike explosive outbursts, his calm departure demonstrated authority and composure, leaving a lasting impression on viewers and hosts alike. The viral spread of the clip prompted discussions on the responsibility of talk show hosts to gauge the comfort level of their guests. Analysts suggested that the walk-off would influence how live interviews are conducted in the future, emphasizing the need for respect and sensitivity. Kevin's team reportedly advised him before the interview to maintain professionalism no matter the questions asked. However, when boundaries were crossed, his choice to leave reaffirmed that preparation does not mean tolerating disrespect. This strategic exit was praised as an example of mindful self-advocacy. Fans highlighted that Kevin's calm but firm stance illustrated the power of nonverbal communication. By simply standing and walking off, he conveyed a message stronger than any words could, reinforcing the notion that actions often speak louder than verbal responses. The incident also inspired commentary about mental health and stress management in high-pressure public settings. Kevin's walk-off was framed as a healthy response to an emotionally taxing situation, encouraging discussions about coping strategies and asserting limits when needed. Analysts noted that this event could serve as a precedent for other celebrities, giving them confidence to disengage from uncomfortable scenarios. Kevin's behavior illustrated that maintaining dignity does not require aggression but rather clear and deliberate decision-making. The clip's continued popularity on social media indicated its resonance with audiences. Fans repeatedly praised Kevin for handling the situation with maturity, while debate about the host's approach fueled ongoing engagement, ensuring the moment remained relevant for weeks. Some entertainment reporters suggested that the walk-off highlighted a generational shift in celebrity media interactions. Modern audiences increasingly value authenticity and personal boundaries, and Kevin's exit exemplified that evolving standard. The show's response in subsequent episodes reflected awareness of the incident. Hosts approached interviews with heightened sensitivity, adjusting their questions to avoid repeating the conflict, demonstrating the immediate influence of Kevin's actions on production practices. Kevin's composure under scrutiny became a talking point in interviews with other actors and public figures. Many lauded his ability to assert limits calmly, reinforcing the idea that professionalism includes the right to disengage when circumstances become unproductive. Retrospective analyses often cited the incident as a teaching moment for public speaking, negotiation, and conflict resolution. Kevin's walk-off was presented as a case study in setting boundaries while maintaining respect and poise under pressure. Ultimately, Kevin Bacon's decision to leave the View after the heated exchange was remembered as a quiet but powerful moment of self-respect. The calm and deliberate choice to exit resonated across entertainment and public discourse, leaving a lasting legacy on how celebrities navigate challenging live interviews. Weeks after the incident, Kevin's walk-off continued to spark conversation in celebrity news circles. Commentators praised his ability to remain calm while asserting boundaries, emphasizing that it contrasted sharply with more dramatic on-air confrontations that often dominate headlines. Fans highlighted that the moment was relatable despite Kevin's fame. Many drew parallels to personal experiences where they had to step away from uncomfortable situations, praising his example as a model for handling conflict with dignity and self-respect. The viral clip also inspired memes and social media commentary, with users celebrating Kevin's composed exit. While some humorously exaggerated the confrontation, the underlying admiration for his professionalism remained clear, demonstrating how the moment resonated across generations and platforms. Entertainment analysts noted that the incident reflected broader challenges of live television. Unlike scripted appearances, Live interviews demand instantaneous navigation of uncomfortable moments, and Kevin's walk-off demonstrated an ideal approach: controlled disengagement without escalation. The story prompted discussions on talk show etiquette, emphasizing the balance between curiosity and respect. Kevin's decision underscored the principle that even widely respected hosts must recognize boundaries, especially when sensitive or personal topics are involved. In interviews and podcasts following the event, industry experts highlighted Kevin's decision-making as exemplary. They described the walk-off as a demonstration of assertiveness without aggression, illustrating that sometimes the most powerful statement is a silent one. The incident also sparked debates among fans regarding the line between hard-hitting questions and intrusive behavior. Kevin's calm departure became a reference point for evaluating how far a conversation can push before becoming disrespectful or counterproductive. Some media trainers suggested that Kevin's walk-off offered lessons for both hosts and guests. For hosts, it highlighted the need for sensitivity and awareness. For guests, it reinforced the importance of knowing when to assert boundaries for personal and professional well-being. Over time, the clip became a staple in discussions about celebrity media interactions. Analysts often referenced Kevin's composure when contrasting dramatic celebrity exits with his measured, intentional approach, reinforcing the respect he earned from the public. Fans continued to revisit the moment on social media, emphasizing that Kevin's calm demeanor made his statement more impactful than any angry confrontation could have. The walk-off became synonymous with silent authority and dignified assertiveness. Following the incident, other celebrities reportedly reflected on their own experiences during interviews. Kevin's approach inspired discussions about preparation, assertiveness, and the importance of remaining composed when confronted with sensitive or challenging questions. The clip also became an educational reference in media studies, illustrating how body language, tone, and timing influence audience perception. Kevin's measured exit served as an example of nonverbal communication conveying power and control. Analysts noted that Kevin's action highlighted the evolving expectations of celebrity media interactions. While earlier generations of stars might have tolerated persistent questioning, modern audiences increasingly value authenticity and personal agency, exemplified by his decision. The show's response, adjusting subsequent interviews to prevent similar incidents, demonstrated the immediate influence of Kevin's walk-off on production practices. It emphasized the impact that the single principled action can have on live media operations. In the end, Kevin Bacon's walk-off was remembered as more than a moment of tension. It became a symbol of self-respect, calm authority, and the power of choosing when to step away. The incident left a lasting impression, shaping conversations about celebrity interviews, media ethics, and personal boundaries.